What's up, guys? It's Hans here. Just quickly gonna give you guys a market update and what I see into the market this week. Yeah, let's jump right into it. Over here we have the Bitcoin dominance, and I just wanted to quickly revisit the macro view of this. So this was the peak in the previous bull market of the altcoins. If you pull a fib tool from the top to where we finally bottomed, you find that this little box here, this is called the short reload zone. We can see that the market pretty much ran right into the 60%. Not only was the 60% a massive, really round number, it is the golden ratio, right? The golden ratio is very, very powerful. And generally, you don't see markets top or bottom on V bottoms or V tops, etc., etc. Generally, you get a retest of the previous high. And the weaker the token is, or the stronger the token is, the deeper or the shallower this dip will be. So we can see pretty much it got into the the shorter term reload zone and just got rejected. So there are these two reload zones, both bearish reload zones that have acted as resistance levels, and we are now forming a top. Although the trend has not changed yet, the trend will only change on the weekly and the daily once we break below 54.56%. That'll mark the start of a massive alt season, right? Some of the altcoins are already basing out and breaking out of massive macro weekly market structures that are just your W's at the bottom of the chart. They'll look like this, right, after a massive dump. So yeah, that's all good and well. Let's quickly go to BTC. So a little bit of a V bottom here on the daily. I surely hope we do not rocket out of here into the inauguration. I would love for us to maybe retest these lower levels into the inauguration. Now, ignore the time. Whenever I draw stuff like this, it's more to show you what structure I'm looking at or wanting, and not anything to do with time. So please ignore the time. That is what newbies do, is they'll instantly look at the time because they're very, very impatient, can't delay gratification at all, right? So, I mean, even just one pullback would be fine, right, into the inauguration. Because remember, buy the rumor, sell the news event, we did have some consolidation here, so I don't think the dump will be insane. I just don't want the market to V bottom here. Let's just make sure that that was in fact yeah, okay, it was the bottom. I quickly want to see if there was any divergences between these 2 points here. Okay, so not really. Okay, so that's BTC. Nothing really concerning, nothing really bullish. I would just like for this to consolidate here as long as possible. Remember, a few days ago I tweeted that you want to see BTC not reclaim its high pretty quickly. The quicker it reclaims its previous high, the closer we are to the end of the cycle. Okay, so we won't talk much about Coinbase. Let's quickly see what Dogecoin is. This isn't a great structure, but we've reclaimed bearish structure. Remember, it's good to look at the other coins sometimes to see where we're at. Dogecoin is the meme coin spear, one could say. Some people will argue that it's Pepe. Let's not get into the weeds of that. The dollar is very strong. It's been strong for a while. And this is the weekly chart. It's now actually, once again, we know how powerful this 61.8 is, right? This was the 60% on the BTC dominance. We're on the weekly chart here. So this is where the shorters will start laddering in their positions. And we can see how amazingly it got rejected at that level. The golden ratio is just an unbelievable tool and skill to have. So obviously we wanted the dollar to break down, to weaken, right? And it's been bullish for quite a while, but once again, this was straight up. This is on the monthly, like really, really good market structure to go higher, and this has actually confirmed. But the only thing that'll tell us now what is going on here is the indicators. Are these indicators a little bit exhausted? So there is a bearish divergence here on the quicker RSI, but the slower one doesn't seem like that was 69.70, so it was higher. So there's no bearish divergence on the weekly. So we're gonna have to consolidate here for a while, create some M's, and then finally break down. But crypto is rallying in the face of a strong dollar. So we don't always need the dollar to go down for altcoins or crypto to do well. But it's just more tailwinds if it does go down while BTC is rising. We're just consolidating on the stock market. I don't like really looking at the stock market because these things can be this overextended for crazy amount of times. And there's no bearish divergences really printing here. That's got me concerned. So, and it takes so long to play out. I just think that you're probably going to have to look on shorter time frames for like M's and stuff to break down. So there is an ugly M here. So if we lose that level, we are going to consolidate. But this can easily, once again, just turn very, very bullish if we break above there. But remember, this is in the face of a strong dollar. So let's just keep that in mind. We are here on Bitcoin dominance. Our ETH BTC ratio. I won't spend too much time on this, but just to be clear, this was the previous bottoming cycle. We peaked up here. This was the altcoin peak. So we have to see something like this, right? Some consolidation. So all I did here was I took the candlestick pattern here. That's just a fractal, and I pasted it here just to give you guys an idea of what we should be seeing. It doesn't have to last this long, this consolidation. This is probably fine enough, and I'll just draw it out for you. That was our bottom. That's our peak. So we're trying to create a W here to break out. I don't know if that was clear because there's a lot of, and I'll just move this to the side so we can see kind of what is going on here, right? So we do have higher lows. That's fine. We need to break the trend. That would be the change of trend once we break above 0.04. Now remember, this is the ratio between ETH and BTC, and a good indicator of when our alt season, the big alt season might really break or happen. That is when, right, we start breaking above these levels. I don't know what the structure is going to look like, but you need higher lows, right? You need these lows to be defended. Maybe another one comes in somewhere here, and then we can start moving higher. ETH, I mean, you're in the bearish reload zone. Like, this is that massive. Generally, you can short here, but you need structure. There's no structure there, or what you need is an M, something that looks like this, right? Lower highs and a lower high. Either way, there's nothing really bearish here. It's good if you consolidate and spend a lot of time in these bearish reload zones, because if you spend a lot of time moving sideways here, you're obviously going to push through here, right? Let's quickly take a look at Link. Right, we are here for PLS in this area here, right? We need to create that W and then break out of here. Link is not in value, this is left value. So look for the coins that you can still buy in value, and don't chase coins that have left value. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. That is your own responsibility, and you need to listen to me at your own risk. This is the structure we had previously. This is the structure we have this time. We need to break above, right? Pretty simple. That was the others dominance. This is the others chart. Now this is all the top 10, all the coins below the top 10, excluding stable coins. And clear break of the downtrend. You need to see a W on the other side. There's your W. Yeah, I mean, nothing bad here. We're still below the all-time highs. We can look for an extension, but that won't mean much because these aren't really dollar values for us. These are market caps. So we're looking at least a 760 billion market cap for the outside the top 10 of crypto. Total crypto, this is all-time highs. Show me a high and I'll show you a buy. Total 2 hasn't even broken above the all-time high. Total 3 is peaked above the all-time high. It's just consolidating below it. This is a massive cup and handle, if you would like to call it that. And Tether. Now, this has continued to be a good indicator because the opposite happens with crypto, with this thing. So if we want crypto to go up, we need this to dump. If crypto is going down, generally this is rallying as people flee their altcoin positions and BTC positions to buy stable coins. Now, the ETFs have changed things as people go directly into the US dollar. I don't know how much of an impact it has on this chart. And we have to also consider that more and more tether is constantly being printed. So, yeah, it's a few things to keep in mind. But either way, a chart is a chart and it can be read. And well, we're above the reload zone, the macro reload zone. We haven't tested it yet. I mean, all of these indicators are very, very reset, right? Let's look on higher time frames to see what's going on there. You can see how these indicators are at the lows, right? Which is a little bit concerning. Either way, I don't really know what's up here. It does look like we're going to come down a little bit more and reset in the reload zone. So yeah, this is where crypto will top down there. And we'll keep a close eye on that. So let's go to PLS, etc. Interesting that the monthly has printed here at 51. I'll just go to this chart. I like to have all of the history, and we'll zoom out all the way to the monthly. Let's put on the log scale, see if it changes anything, makes it more interesting. Really, we just need to W out here, right? That's all. That's your monthly view. You can plot horizontal rays on this chart to see where strong support levels are. And let's in fact use the horizontal line so we can see all of the data. So a test there, lots of tests there, and now holding support at this 46.56 area. So seems like this is a very, very strong area. And that is what the monthly chart is for, right? Where would be strong resistance levels? I mean, we can plot one here, right? Resistance, support, either way. We won't get too much into the weeds with this, support and resistance levels. Just knows that we have support below us, right? Let's go down to the weekly. If this weekly candle can close at like 5,000, that'll be very, very bullish, very, very positive candlestick there. Either way, if we pull up the fib tool in our local area, we can see that this is where value is at, right? Like you need to find altcoins that are in these boxes, not only in the macro view, because this is your macro view, right? We're well within value still, right? We're below the 61.8. And then we can do that same to really get deals, right? We can see that we are in value here. You can wait for a W to form to confirm in this area, or the granny can, etc., right? Nothing wrong here. Let's pull up some more indicators. Let's pull up the stochastic. So you can see the stochastic RSI is pretty much at its lows, right? It's oversold. The MACD, I think this is just turning bearish now, right? But a pretty shallow line. It's crossing here. I mean, it could easily reverse. This can easily just be consolidation for the MACD. Yeah, we're slap bang where value is at for the shorter term. And retail investors don't look at it like that. They panic here, right? They think it's all over. 3-day. That's a positive sign. On the 3-day, we're turning here. You can see it's now turned to white again from red. That is the 3-day. The stochastic RSI is practically reset. Could, in fact... When does this 3-day candle close? No idea. Man, the next close could turn positive here for the stochastic RSI. No real... That is a good little candle there. The previous candle close. Not bad at all. Remember, on all of these time frames, we want to see a little W come in. On the daily, on the 4 hour, on the 3-day, on the weekly, on the monthly, etc., etc. The W is just a fancy way of saying, or not a fancy way, a simpler way of saying market structure, right? If you really want to sound fancy. 1 day. Bullish divergence for the stochastic here. In fact, let me just show you guys here. This is bull divs on the Willy. The Willy is just a faster moving RSI. You can see the bull print here. The last time we bull printed was here and it rallied off. But still, you need that W to confirm, right? To confirm that the divergence is real. Doesn't really mean anything just like that. Just that there is some underlying strength in the chart. So this is the daily. Strong, I mean, if you put on the line chart on all of these indicators, right, this is bullish divergence on the RSI, forming bullish divergence on the stochastic, bullish divergence on MACD. MACD could cross by today, by the end of today, maybe tomorrow. But there is no W here. If you price action like this is golden for divergences to form. So that is the daily. I mean, we're still in the micro reload zone or the local reload zone. Nothing really wrong. If we are really going to spill the bed, maybe on an SEC negative ruling, you're going to come down to retest the small little W down there. That's worst case scenario, right? If things really, really turn bearish here. That'll be a golden opportunity right there. So you can see there's some underlying strength on the chart as well. And now we come down into the weeds and we won't go further or lower than the 4 hour. You can see the clear W there on the 4 hour. So as we were starting to go down in the shorter time frames, you can start to see how things are starting to turn a little bit more bullish, right? So that is bullish market structure here. I mean, that's a confirmed breakout. You can look for divergences. I mean, look at this MACD, that's divergences all the way from back there. So, I mean, the granny couldn't fault someone if they wanted to take a long here. Now, their long would have looked like something like this. Now, I do not leverage trade, but I am proficient in it. I know how it works, but that should be a clear sign to you that this is dangerous. I don't do it because honestly, I don't like sitting in front of the PC the whole time. I don't like the stress that comes with the short-term trading. I prefer just sitting in positions and just looking at them every now and then and selling them when I think it's toppy. So yeah, that is what your trade would look like. If you're wrong, you will lose 2% of this trade. This is a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So that's a 2% risk, which means you can use 2.1% or 2.2% leverage or 2.2x leverage, excuse me. So yeah, that's that. I would like for us to consolidate longer. Remember, the longer you move sideways in the very, very tight range, the more explosive and the longer the move to the upside will be. Now, I can go through all of the other charts and I mean, all of them look the same, right? This video is getting to 20 minutes already, and I wanted to keep it short so everyone can enjoy it, even if you have a shorter time span. Do you use the 2x speed to listen to me? Because I can't listen to myself on 1x speed, or the 1.5, or the 1.25, whatever floats your boat to. Like the video, subscribe. I'll check you guys in the next one. Please play from a position of strength. Don't get wrecked. See you in the next one.